just pushing into earth science classes. But before that, if you look on the back of the card that I gave you, I was an English language fellow, which is that logo that's on the back. And it's a really interesting program. If you're ever interested in teaching in another country, they can send you there. And you can do it as a specialist project. Could you grab 2 of the papers? It's on entry. And you can go for short periods of time or even 10 months at a time. I did it in East Africa, in Mauritius and Madagascar, and absolutely loved it. So just a little plug for that program. I taught as an ETA in Brazil, thought it was interesting. I taught English in a university, and I even got to teach English for Brazilians who were deaf. So I got really into sign language. It's very different. And I even got to teach in Uzbekistan. So like when I wasn't teaching in the DOE or in Westchester or in Connecticut, I was trying to find opportunities abroad. And there's even one teacher from Uzbekistan right here. We met in Tashkent. So I was like so amazed that we found each other. And the last thing, because I'm a hyper person. I'm passionate, and I have different interests. So one of them is mindfulness. And I offer through NYTESOL, the teachers union, classes for resilience for teachers. So if you're interested, please reach out to me and I can help organize it for your community. So with that, what are we going to do today? I really want to get people in action and movement. I don't want this to be, right, the Armin show. This is the you show, which hopefully that's our aim, right, when we're teaching, is we're not talking as much. So we'll go just quickly through the next generation science standards. I'm still learning them because they are just pretty new. But we're going to think around a specific language point that they have in it that are called components, which are the parts when we make models, and the interactions, which are the ways that these parts are interacting. And then, as we have a lot of language, ENL folks in the room, we're going to kind of bring that science concept down to the language concept, which would be nouns and verbs. And how are we intentionally teaching those concepts in support with those nouns and verbs that we think students need. And then you're going to have some time to apply. I'd say about 20 minutes of the time is going to be application. You're going to have some ideas, you're going to work either individually or with a partner, and you're going to apply this concept to a subject that you want to teach. We'll do a share out, and hopefully I can share some of the things that my students did along the way. So with that, what do we have? We want to identify the components, which I said before. Welcome, can you just grab a paper on entry? Oh, Laura's got it. Oh. Let's see. Good? Thank you. We want to identify the components, which are the parts.
Okay.
Oh, it went away. It's gonna keep playing like that, so I'll try my best to get it to pause. And interactions in a scientific topic, and we're going to write relevant nouns and verbs in a model. So it may keep going like that. Let me see if I can fix it. No, I think it stopped. So what are these new science standards? We get trainings from our science director about it, and a lot of the ideas are pretty up there for me. But I want to explain my basic understanding of it. There's these 3 domains. We basically want our students to be thinking as if they were scientists, kind of taking the scientist role, taking the engineer role. And what do scientists do? They don't have answers. They have a lot of questions, right, that they're trying to get answered. They interpret data. They make models to try to understand things. So that's basically what the new standards is pushing, is for our students to be becoming like a scientist and taking that role on. Another thing is the disciplinary core ideas, which are just the main subjects that are taught throughout the 12 years of science education in New York. And I like this one a lot. It's called the cross-cutting concepts. That means even if a kid is in kindergarten or if a kid is in 12th grade, they're looking for patterns. They're looking for cause and effect. So these are the things that are going across the different science subject areas. And just to repeat on what we said before, I want to emphasize this one because it's from the science standard. It is the importance of understanding components, which are the things. So for instance, the components in the rooms. We have teachers, we have chairs, we have tables, we have iPads, phones. These are all the things that we're talking about. But then, how are they interacting? How are they making connections? and we're going to just check it out. So, I have an example from Earth Science that I used with my class last year that I want to show with you. What is a component here? Well, one is the sun, right? So it's like the first level, just labeling it. Well, another one is the Earth. But in order to express a science idea, I'm going to need to show some interactions. The interactions are the relationships between, for example, the sun and the Earth. I could look and I could say, this model is showing that the Earth is revolving. And I know we may know this concept, but the idea is to try to think around how we are kind of presenting a part of something, which is a sun, a part of something that's an Earth, and then the relationship is the revolution of it. So let's check out what a student of mine did. Because these are basically from one-pagers that they made, where they kind of drew out the concepts and then tried to explain them. We'll see how she explains it.
Seasons. We have 4 seasons: fall, winter, spring, and summer. What causes the seasons? The Earth revolves around the sun. For us in the North Hemisphere, we revolve counterclockwise. As we can see here in this diagram, we are facing the sun, which means for the North Hemisphere, we have summer. We're experiencing summer. It takes 365 days or 1 year to make one revolution. And just how it said it, tilt of Earth on its axis causes uneven warming. When this
Hear my voice in the background. So in my class, not everyone is fluent in English, so we're using Spanish at times to build those concepts, but we're also teaching the English concepts on the way. And I wanted to share one other thought about it is once we introduce the first component and part, interaction, then we can keep layering more on. So like we went from the first part to the second part of actually showing how the seasons are happening. But it's like if you don't get this, like I have a lot of my students when I say to them, what's revolution? And they just do this. For more it's a rotation idea. So just that alone, we've been having them like this past week in my class, we would just say, okay, we're going to have you draw a model of 2 planets revolving around the sun. And they would do it, and you just have 2 planets, but they wouldn't show this arrow. So even if they understand it, if they're not showing that in the model, they may not clearly be able to say their understanding. So it's kind of going step by step and repeating steps for kids if they're not getting it on the first go. There's another concept basically about the tilt, which is tilt. I guess it could be a component or an interaction, but it's more like an interaction, right? Because we're talking about the planet of the Earth is tilting, so it's an interaction, it's a verb. Just to put our brain on that way of thinking. So, with this one, previously, because I'm actually doing the present, it's like the older Earth Science. There's a new one, the Earth in Space. I'm not as familiar with that. I'm sure a lot of you are more familiar. But I think that the aim of the new science standards is to get students moving from just memorizing information, teachers just giving information, memorizing facts and just trying to find one right answer. We're trying to move students in the direction of not giving them everything, having them create their own sense, having them make their own understanding. Models are really important. Just by raise of hand, does anyone here use models in their class? A little bit? So like 3, 4 people, 5. And I think what's interesting about the model is I notice if students are not sure what to draw, I'm curious if other people do this or notice this, they immediately go online and just copy something from online, which is not a problem because they want to get the answer, but at the same time it shows that maybe their understanding is not as clear. So it's just a good thing to be aware of. Oh, maybe right now iPad's away, I want to see what you actually have in your brain, not what the internet knows. So this is more or less what we're trying to build towards, is getting more sense that they are making rather than us trying to make the sense for them. Which is hard because you feel like you know something and you want to share it, Or for me, sometimes I feel like I'm figuring something out, but I want to share it and I'm not sure what to say. Because they have to be coming up with the understanding. So we are specialists as ENL, ESL, TESOL people with scaffolds, right? However we use them, with images, with words. But this is actually something that can be helpful not just for Ls, but for all students, because they don't necessarily need a vocabulary word to understand revolution, right? You don't need a vocabulary word. You need the concept, but you can see it. So the idea is that we can see things, and it helps us to see it in different ways. And it's actually beneficial to all students, not just Ls. And I think that that's the point for us, where we can actually bring that to the science folks who have their way of teaching, and we have our language way of teaching, or visual way. So we are almost to the action part of this. Here's another example, just showing components as nouns and the interactions as verbs. So we have a student who's going to explain it.
How seasons work.
Another idea.
Seasons are a part of revolution and have to do with the Earth's tilt. The Earth orbits around the sun once every year. This movement is called revolution. It takes 365 days to complete one full orbit. Earth is tilted on its axis at an angle at 23.5 degrees. It stays the same through the Earth's movement moves around the sun, which is called revolution, which means different parts of the Earth point towards the sun at different times during the year. This causes the seasons to change.
I just wanted to say one point. I think it's pretty interesting. It's somewhat easier to get students to repeat information, but it's a lot more difficult to get them to apply it to a situation. And I think that's what we're trying to build. So this is on the line to applying. So with that, we're almost there. Models can be used as input. Just like we have lectures, text, videos, and then eventually models can be used to give output. So it's not only models, we also use manipulatives in class, home language if you need, writing. But I think the hard part, even for me, like I wanted to share this when I was trying to come to make this presentation. Has anyone ever noticed that when you just stay in your brain, when you're thinking about something, it's not very clear? It's not just me, right? Okay. So I had to talk to a number of different science teachers, ENL teachers, just friends, because I realized that I process by talking to people. Is anyone else similar to that? It's not just about teaching science, it's about life too. So what that means, do you think the students are going to process just solo with a piece of paper? No. And I think sometimes I forget that. I don't know about everyone else, that the students need as much interaction as we need to move towards clarity, and that it's a continuum. It's not like they're going to just be clear when they get the idea, just like we need the trial and error. So with that, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We have 12 people, and we have another 30 minutes. I'm going to number people. Unless you feel comfortable with that, working with someone else, we're going to number you 1 to 6, and you're going to get with a partner. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're just going to decide with your partner. Because there's like a lot of sitting and like, it's like, that's nice, but I like movement more. And you're just going to decide a topic that you want to do. It can be some of these that are shown here. Or if you're like, I don't want those topics, choose your own topic. That's completely fine. And you're just going to list out nouns, because this is the way I did it. I felt like, for me, I'm not really like a science buff. I didn't know all the models and the concepts and all this, so I just started with language. And this is how I set it up for my class. And you're going to just take a couple minutes and come up with a topic, the nouns that you want your model to show, and the verbs, the interactions that you want. So I'm just going to number folks like this, 1 to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, Laura. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you want to work solo or do you want to join a group? Solo or one? You want to go once? All right, awesome. Can I get my 1 people here? Which I think is 3 ones. Can I get my 2 people here? Can I get my 3 people here? It's a lot of movement. I know we have a lot of stuff. Thank you for your flexibility. 4 people here in the back. 5 people here. Excuse me. And 6 people found each other. All right. 4 minutes on the clock. Topics, nouns, verbs, go.
Oh, I know, and it was so good.
I'm actually just so just wanted to come take some things back. Well, do you want to do this one now?
You choose what you need.
Currently in elementary school. Everything. I'm in top 5 grade levels. They're all 6th grade levels at school I'm at. But I don't have a lot of kids. I have a bunch of kids over there that have grade levels.
I saw that's something we were so we can do some.
No, that's it. Just you.
Wow.
You're the young person.
Got it. Sounds okay, stars.
Yeah.
Nebula it up. Day and night, falling sunlight.
Whichever way you
We discussed it.
right now.
Ours is very different in terms of what we're doing.
So you could either do it solo, but I kind of like the idea of working with others. If you want to work solo.
So what's one of the
But right now we're doing like systems of education.
So do linear equation.
So if you want like now, then
Life cycles.
let's do. I'm gonna rely on you for this. We can do.
Love it. Photosynthesis. Let's get it.
They were supposed to march the default. Then we can do.
Yeah.
I mean this.
I would never embarrassing.
Yeah.
For you guys. Yes. You guys have questions? You know who did
I never would have gotten all this. I was like, I have a few of these then.
No, it's okay. Because they're all.
Absorb the words like wait.
I didn't put the equation. I mean, we can put the equation. Again, what do you do? In terms of trying to get those things
Yeah, you know,
something else.
it's still HR diagrams. Or anything like
Regional languages.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't matter what language you dive into. We have owls who are like, just give me the English version because I've been listening to it in English.
Right, non-stop.
I'm not, but
All right, 1 minute to go. Get at least 2 or 3 nouns, 2 or 3 verbs. You have to go.
No, you.
You're set.
We're like,
You're set.
we're like, we can think of every word.
Basically, what you're going to do is try to choose
Yeah.
because I found that so many Are you guys ready? You rolling? You okay? All right. You're okay? You're still... Alright, beautiful.
Yeah, I just don't find
You have photographic memory. Can we come back together? Are you guys set? Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, love the collaboration. Our next step, because this is way too many words and concepts to give to a student in a 40-minute period. Our next step is going to be thinking around, how can I make a model? I really want to see what the math people are going to do because I'm not even sure. But if I were to take one concept, like I know that you were saying photosynthesis, I think both of these groups in the back, how would I show that? And I want to just give our eyes over here for a moment. This is not my work. I don't know about biology or living environment, but this is the work of Beatriz Carrasquillo, a teacher, bilingual teacher in my school. And what do we have? We have components, nouns, clouds. We have arrows showing what? Maybe condensation is what's happening to the clouds. It's going maybe the direction of how it is. So just to keep it in mind, a model needs a couple of things. So I'll show what you need when you draw a model. Needs is a strong word, but what's encouraged? We could have a drawing of something. I have my students just drawing stuff, and then after I showed it to my director, and he's like, well, this is a drawing, it's beautiful, but is it a model? A model has to show, what does it have to show? Relationships, right? How do we show relationships? This one's in Spanish, ciclos, cycles. Oh, something's happening with this tree. I'm not even sure what it means, but it's pointing an arrow, meaning something that this tree is going up towards there. Oh, it's CO2 that's going up to the sky. Even if I don't know the language, I can understand the idea because of the model, because of the arrows, and labeling things helps. And the other two things are interactions. How different things are interaction. So let's look at this one over here. I think it's about... forgetting what they're called. What are the trees? Mangroves. I think it's mangroves in Mexico. These students were given this topic, and they needed to figure out what was going on. When I was looking at this, I was not really sure, because I didn't want to take, it was explained to me after, I didn't want to take a look. What is happening, for instance, with... Exactly. But what does it mean when the bird is over here, is pointing the arrow towards the little, I guess, otter, I don't know what it is. What does it mean? What do you think it means? I think it's the energy transferring. So it means he is. Yeah, the otter is. The bird is doing what? I think it meant eating, right? The bird is eating.
No, it's
or is it the opposite?
No, it's the otter.
The otter is eating the bird.
The otter is eating the bird, and the bird's energy is going into the otter.
Yes.
So he's. I appreciate you explaining it to me because honestly, I was not really clear on it. So the otter is taking the bird's energy and it's going that way.
Yep.
And then what happens with the next thing? Who's taking the otter's energy? It's a crocodile. It's a cow. It'd be a very powerful cow. So,
Right.
yeah. So whatever you're going to do with your models, I want to see arrows. I want to see some images, some labels. Right, they put it in Spanish here. And then possible connections. So these two things, they're connected because it's a food chain. So we're going to have the next 5 or so minutes. Just choose one concept. I don't know how it will work in math.
All right, I have an idea.
Because the idea is to show it in a picture.
Right, so what's that? Yeah.
It is a drawing.
That's just symbols.
I think that this idea works better in science. I'm being serious. I encourage you, if you want to keep following math, do you want to... But it's right, because I encourage you to try it with science concepts. You still have like 10 more minutes to go. So you keep doing your math because we don't want to stop the flow. But I would think of one concept in science that you would want to solve. And show the math. Does that work? I'm not trying to divide the group, but I want the time to serve you well. Like serving yourself. Beautiful. Model it up. Oh, I had colors if anyone wants colors. I just want to make sure you guys are set.
Yes, condenses, that's good word.
this,
Math is always.
that is how good.
No, I'm good, thank you.
All right, you're still on the main colors, yeah.
Exciting.
Sorry, program.
Yeah, I'm also not sure. Is that right?
That would be our labels,
If you were telling me what number it is,
if I do the
the proofs, you would know.
Okay, for now.
Thank you. I know
And I
that.
don't like.
That's enough. Yeah, it's nightmares.
Back in the day, now it's not as crazy.
All right. 4 minutes. Interpretive. Okay.
And where you, like, you have a lot of electives or no?
Go to elementary school, I'm from elementary, you would start different science, different years, but they would go because it's like the science and
You're making a variety of it.
that science would be, it's not gonna be that, you know, like if you're watching the algebra is gonna start in grade 5,
So it is.
and then like from grade 6, maybe grade 5.
Okay.
Mathematical.
So that's science, yeah, but I like the idea.
Yeah, yeah. Makes sense.
How does it happen?
That's
Why is it?
So I don't know, it's not as
You're going to really Night, day, earth. Okay, moon, sun. Yes.
What does
Keep rolling, I love it.
and we have
Rolling, rolling.
So is that teachers working?
You mean doing this process? I think that to teach something, I need to do it myself.
So you have teachers, because I was thinking how I'm gonna bring this.
To your teachers or
But,
students?
yeah, to my teachers.
I would have to choose a topic and just think, what is the vocabulary? Because I found it helpful for me to know what I wanted to draw as a model. And then just choose one model. 'Cause those, like, they have a list of like 10 or 7 words and 7 words. That's like multiple lessons.
Yeah, yeah. And then they can use this
And they-
activity with the students.
Exactly. Once they, I mean, honestly, I haven't done it with this paper in this format. We just did it like over 2 weeks, and we built towards them making a video. We may do it in a moment, but I think it could work.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking, because we have magic school, and you can build a tool in it, so I can have our tech people build this into a tool,
Sure.
and then the kids can just go right in,
And they can make it.
and they can make it right in there.
Yeah. I do feel like sometimes kids are like, oh, I want to work on the iPad.
Yeah, whatever they want to do, they can do both.
Yeah. I don't know what you both all feel, but for me, I like sometimes when they work on paper. Because it's just somehow your hand with paper is like a different process. That's good.
No, it's true.
You just learn different.
Yeah, I just options for them.
Yeah, you're right. Some kids are not.
I think of one right now. Not drawn.
I
another option for you.
Boom, there it is.
You're still gonna learn today.
Exactly. You gotta show it.
Yeah. Okay. So then I was just trying to process that part.
Yeah, I think that this is something that teachers have to have as a process in their brain, and then decide what part. Because it's possible that they may not do all this in one lesson. It's just too much.
Right.
I think
Maybe several.
I would be over multiple lessons. It could be revisited, like the part that you want. Because it's kind of like I was imagining something that you could take and fit into your situation. Versus like this is the only lesson.
Yeah.
No, it's not that.
Understood.
Yeah. All right, 2 minutes, and we're gonna move forward. 2 minutes. Get your images ready. Wow, what is this? I love it. Yeah, both of them here. They're two papers working together. Okay.
We're waiting for the logins.
The other part.
Really throw them.
Okay.
No, we love it. I know like the spiral.
If you're assigning for the students too.
Yep, the students can go in. They use it a lot.
You're beautiful. I love it.
When the kids interview with board members. Yeah. So they'll interview with us for those areas. And then I know the math teachers use the relevant math problems. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to our next step, our last step of the process. Let's come back together. Loved watching everyone process, think together. I'm going to pause you for a second. Laura? Laura had a really good question. These are just ideas that I'm sharing. And it's not like this is the only way to do this. This is something that what we're doing right now is a process that you may only want to work with the models in one lesson. Or you may only want to work with the sentence writing because you already have what you're doing in your regular lessons. So just as a answer, because you were saying a good question, like how does this apply? Should I do it the exact same way? You do it how you see fit. Because your context, you know better than me. So we're going to take a couple minutes. If we were to write some sentences using components, which are now nouns, and verbs, which are interactions, wow, I'm going blind. How would you do it? Just 2 or 3 sentences about the process that you were doing. Because we want to develop our students' literacy, our ability to write and speak about these topics. So we'll take 2 minutes or 3 minutes, give a go on it. And we'll come back together. How would you write this in a sentence or 2? How would you present it? How would you share it? So I'm curious how you do it with math. But these languages are not needed. Because the thing
That's
is,
actually like the easiest thing.
that's more straightforward.
The first equation for y sounds.
Oh, like step by step, right? Yeah, perfect. Отлично. Хорошо.
Do you still speak it?
Я знаю чуть-чуть.
I have a student.
Huh.
He's ethnically Armenian,
Yes.
but
That sounds confusing. But there is an Armenian community in southern Georgia. Because there were some lands that used to be Armenian long. But there's like,
yeah, I mean, I know.
there's a lot of that. You know the whole story.
Yeah, but his last name, I thought it was good, but he said it's like, you know, it kind of changed.
They transform it. Like the Armenians in Turkey have Turkish last names.
Yeah, but no, he's like, I think they like, because he was supposed to be something like Manhattan, but they just added an E, so it sounds more
So it makes it.
Yeah.
So then they don't get judged. I love it. I love it. Hi, how are you? People are flowing. What is your name? Armin, you were so wonderful speaking and eloquent. I just wanted to say that to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. People are interacting. They're creating models for how they would describe their science topic. And then I gave them extra papers to hopefully share the idea with their colleagues.
I love it. Totally
So it's-
hands-on.
yeah,
Just
they're-
like how it should be for our students.
Right? Instead of just sitting and listening, and get people doing.
Yeah.
Tamal?
Sanal.
Sanal.
So,
Cool. Armin.
Armin.
Happy to
And
meet
where are
you.
you?
I'm teaching in White Plains High School.
Proud. I live in Larchmont.
Oh, no way.
And I'm teaching in Missouri.
Wow, we're neighbors. We'll trade info.
Yes,
I'm gonna trade.
we will.
Thank you. Sonal.
Sanal. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'll see you in the future.
Yes. Cool. No, we're rolling. We're rolling. We're rolling.
Yes, this is at the level of an elementary.
All right, 1 minute to go. We rolling? Oh my gosh. Water cycle?
Yeah.
Let's go. Recording. What do I do here? All right. How are we doing? Are we rolling? Please, please. My director wants me to get a photo, so I want an action photo. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on to the last step of our process. When I did this with my classes, they wrote sentences, they made models, and then what did they do? The whole point of the lesson today is from words to worlds. Worlds, what do we need? A skill in life is presenting things. So you have the option if you're like, oh, I don't feel comfortable, I want to take a picture. Okay. I encourage you to practice what you ask your students to do. Right? You want to live this in your body and in your mind and your heart so that when your students do it, they know what you're trying to get them to do. So we're going to take the last 2 or so minutes just to make a quick recording, not of your face, just of you. And I would love if you could post it. We have a Padlet. It's the little image to the side. And if you're like, I don't want to record, just take a picture of your work. But I would love to encourage you to post it into our group Padlet because it kind of captures our learning. You'll come here, you see my materials, you see some examples of the student work that my students did. And I'm going to ask you to go to the bottom one that's called Teacher Samples. Runaway phone. Teacher Samples. Take the next 2 or so minutes. If you were to present this, how would you present it? Just as a model. I think sometimes we give students models and then they just copy it. We don't want to do that. Although I want to do that a lot. I want to help them all the time. And then my science teacher like, no, let them try on their own. So take a moment.
We're going to see if this works.
Present it up. You have a partner to help you if you need.
We're going to try before the cell phone dies.
I love it. Oh, yeah. Exactly. These are not mine. This is like a biology teacher.
Part of the.
She was trapped up and down.
Like this?
Oh, yes.
We'll train everybody down there.
Yes, you can kick it back home.
Here. No.
Take care, yeah.
Dhanyavad.
Ah, yes.
Shukriya.
Yes,
She was looking at her first and
Did it work? You go down, down?
yeah. I'm surprised it hasn't grown more. It's really not that grown.
Found it?
Yeah, it was just on more and I
Okay.
wasn't sure.
And They're still like this. They're still very.
Se puede ver que hay una botella y la botella está moviendo esta dirección también. Y cuando, and sometimes,
On the bottom. Should be a spot on the bottom to post it right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Can you post there? Uh-oh.
Ah, I didn't
Maybe you
want
can.
to
Can you, oh, maybe press plus,
Oh, yes.
and then it should post somewhere. Yeah. If you end up not recording, just take a picture of whatever you saw.
Yeah.
Whatever you feel is comfortable.
I decided to do it in my second language instead of my first.
When it was instruction coach and then
And it was not very good. It was my it's been a while since I've really done.
have you ever, I was just thinking, like, total physical response with this, like, having the kids do that, because I was just thinking, like,
Because it was
I love it.
we have like 3 girls who are so into dance, and I'm like,
Make a dance of this.
yeah,
I love
they would
it.
do the model as like a total physical response rather than.
I think it's much better because that's how they're processing already.
Because
But I
I was
feel
just
like-
thinking, I'm like, what's another way we could do this?
100%. But it's like asking a kid who doesn't like dance to do that
It's
would also
ridiculous.
not work.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
asking someone who doesn't like writing to write immediately.
It's like almost like you have to have a menu.
A menu of choices and allow them to show learning how they are, like what their medium is. I'm totally with that, Laura. All right, one more minute. You guys set?
Yep, it's just up.
Awesome. Awesome. I lost internet here, but just for a moment, this is a process that you can make your own. This is just an option. If you were to change something, I'd love you to just write, what's one idea that you would add? I just heard Laura saying, I have a student who loves dance. Can they make an interpretive dance of, what was the topic?
Water cycle.
The water cycle. I have no idea how to do that. I'm not a dancer. I'm actually a poet and a rapper, and that's one of my things is like words and music and language. So that would be my area. And what's one idea you want to change? If you're like, oh, I want to do this differently, just take a moment, because I want you to make this yours. And I gave extra papers, so hopefully you can pay it forward and share it with another teacher at your district or school. Maybe they want to post a photo there or video. And we'll come back together in about a minute or so. Just for a moment, what would you do differently? Interpretive dance. Interpretive algebra dance, but I'm joking. All right.
Yeah.
30 more seconds. We'll come back together. Sorry, I'm close enough. All right. For our share out, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, gentlemen, there's two. I'm gonna just do like a protocol. It's called Domino's. I think it's not the restaurant, although that's also maybe your style if you like that. But it's basically you say one thing, and we're gonna go in an order the way dominoes go. So we'll go, you. We don't wait for it. We're gonna zigzag it. Zigzag, and I'll tell you what you're gonna say. We'll end over here. You're just gonna say one thing you liked, one thing you learned, one thing you may want to apply. Don't make a doctorate, right? Just like, one word, one sentence, anything from our...
All three, or you just want one of the three?
Whatever you want to say,
Come on.
but we kind of go like the way dominoes go.
Great. Yeah.
Can you start us off?
Yes, thank you. I liked your energy, and I'm really glad that I came.
Nice.
Delineating the nouns and verbs with relationships and content.
Awesome.
I like that it doesn't involve a lot of hard work on the teacher's end, because teachers are always looking for something they can implement quickly.
Quick and easy. Yeah.
I like how active the learning is.
Cool.
So maybe in addition, like highlighting the arrows and then having the same color highlighter for the sentence.
Oh, to connect sentence with like interaction or connect. Oh, I love that. Never thought of it. Love it.
I enjoyed how some students are visual and others are auditory, but both benefit from the models and explaining.
And you don't need a lot of language to make a model, which is what I appreciate. Yeah. Love it. What you got?
Come back to me.
Come back to you? Okay.
I liked all the different components, so it's not just writing, it's not just drawing.
Okay.
There are students that learn in different modalities.
Like integrated.
It could be integrated into it.
Love it.
I liked that it was aligned with the new standards, and components and interactions are science words that our co-teachers will like.
You're gonna teach them that.
Yeah.
What you got?
I love the network, the interaction between the students, and the fact that the lesson was more student-centered.
Cool.
I like making the students thinking visual, like they are responsible to do
Love
that.
it. I love it. I appreciate all your time and your energy. It's funny, the original way I wanted to teach all this stuff is I wanted to show all the examples. You know how like a lot of the presentations, and I said that to my science teachers, and they were like, put it on the teachers to do the work. And I think we so much need to remember that, because we want to be leading the way. I also want, but I thought that was a cool concept that they told me, so I'm trying to do what they advised me. Yeah.
We had the art students do multimedia projects based on biology and earth science.
Oh, that's beautiful. Like their own subject that they use those concepts. I think
the water
multi.
cycle or the solar system.
I love it.
Especially at the end of the year when the art teacher had a little bit of extra time. She was like, what are some concepts they need to know?
And they do it in a different way. Beautiful. I'm honored to spend time with all of you. I think that is it. If anyone wants to take a group photo, we can take a group photo with your models in the air. Is that okay? I don't know if I have space, but...